Good day, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on supporting financial professionals in South Africa with automated reporting solutions. Quite pleased to have you all here today, and I hope you find the session insightful and informative. In today's webinar, we will have three speakers with us. Just give me 1 second for these slides to show up. Just give it one moment. There we go. Yes, so we've got three speakers with us today. The first is Jan de Dekker. He is the Technical Manager at Insight Software. Our second speaker today will be Lena Kapoor, who's our Senior Channel Manager also at Insight Software, and myself, I'm Thabo Mxenge. I'm part of the Sales and Marketing team at the Microsoft Gold Partner, All Online 365, and we're all quite excited to show you how by using the power of JIT reports, we can help organizations streamline their reporting and enhance decision-making with actionable insights that are backed by data. But before we jump right into the solution, I want to tell you a little bit more about All Online, who we are. So we are a Microsoft Gold partner. We've been operating, we're Microsoft Gold partner. We've been completing projects throughout the African continent and parts of Europe for about the last 25 odd years. Our main focus is to assist businesses through their digital transformation journey, really giving you guys the tools to take your business further and to use technology as an enabler. We work in various industries, your wholesale, your food and beverage, your manufacturing, retail, distribution, so on and so forth. And this really plays to our advantage because no two businesses are alike. However, having a clear understanding on your financial performance is critical to the survival of every business. So our experience in all these various fields help us understand your unique business requirements and deliver a solution that will meet those requirements, be it system requirements or reporting requirements. But just to talk a little bit about the solutions we have, we've got, let's give it 1 second. There we go. So just talk about the solutions we have. We are a very Microsoft-focused organization, and our biggest solution partner that we have, obviously being Microsoft, and they provide us with the Microsoft suite of business applications, namely being the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. So Business Central is a all-in-one cloud-based business management solution that integrates all your business functions onto a single platform, giving you the insights to make better decisions for your business. From financial management to reporting to managing your staff, it brings all those different business functions together. Also have the Microsoft technology platform. So this would be your productivity apps that you're already familiar with, such as your Office 365, your OneDrive, your SharePoint, and the Microsoft Power Platform, which is a set of tools that allow you to build and customize applications, to automate your workflows, create interactive dashboards and reports, and extend your ERP to meet more members of your business. Now, the beauty with all of these different solutions, or the beauty of the Microsoft Cloud, is its deep integration with Dynamics 365, Office 365, as well as the industry-specific solutions. So this is all made possible thanks to the Microsoft Azure as well as the common data model. So in the past, we had to implement various solutions to cover different needs. So maybe one for finance, one for inventory, another one for reporting. And this meant that there was a lot of flipping between applications, a lot of cutting and pasting, a very slow and very error-prone process that we had to undertake in the past. But today, we want to show you how Insight Software's JIT reports brings that level of interoperability to your reporting, pulling data directly from your ERP system, helping you save time and also effort in your reporting. Just to talk a little bit about some of the businesses that have implemented JIT reports and seen a lot of success. Just give it 1 second. There we go. So, we've used a combination of the tools that I just highlighted there before, as well as JIT reports. And over the years, we've worked with several organizations in South Africa to help them achieve their reporting goals. So we've completed projects for your Digby Wells Environmental, your Rent-A-Clear Initial, as well as your wholesale spares. And we assisted them with their JIT reports implementation, maintaining their network, and providing support where needed. But what I want to do is just give you a deeper dive into the solution by handing it over to Lenica. Just give it 1 second.
Thank you, Mr.
Hello,
Habo.
Lenica, can you hear us there?
Yes, you hear me?
All right. Loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Lenneke Pol. I'm based in the Netherlands. Work with channel partners, mainly Microsoft partners in EMEA. So also in Africa, South Africa, and All Online is one of my partners where I work with. Overall, we are investment company with 500 million revenue, revenue, 500,000 users, 30,000 customers, of which 18,000 are using Jet. So that's a huge part of our business. We have 2,000 employees, and I believe around 400 partners worldwide. 150 countries served and 40 locations worldwide. And yeah, we mainly focus on the office of the CFO. We have a lot of products, about 60 products focused on different ERPs. And all focused on the office of the CFO. So all are financial related. Um, Next slide, please. So Jan and I are focusing on Microsoft mainly. So the products that focused on Microsoft ERP, Business Central, and Navision are BizView and Jet Reports and Jet Analytics. And BizView is a planning solution. Jet Reports is a financial planning solution, and Analytics is a analytics solution. Today we talk about Jet Reports, and yeah, Jan will tell you a bit more about that.
Hi, I'm Jan de Dijker. I'm a technical account manager at Insight Software. I've been working with Microsoft Dynamics products for about 18 years now, and for the last 15 years, I've done basically nothing but reporting, mainly based on Microsoft Dynamics, NAV, and now Business Central. So today, I'm going to talk to you about Jet Reports. Jet Reports is our reporting solution specifically tailored to Business Central. And the keyword that you're going to see is Excel. It is a reporting solution that lives in Excel and that uses Excel as a designer tool, but also as a result tool. So what does Jet Reports do? Basically, we're talking about simple operational and financial reporting. What does that mean? We get an Excel add-in within Excel called Jet Reports, and that connects directly to a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central through an AppSource app. Of course, it can connect to older NAV versions, or if you have Business Central on-prem, it can connect to that. We have about 10 ways of connecting to NAV or BC solutions. So we can connect to just about any Microsoft Dynamics Business Central or NAV installation. Let me see. Okay, so what did we do with Jet Reports? Well, to cut it short, basically we had a look at Excel, which is arguably the biggest reporting tool in the world. And we had a look at how can we actually make it a better reporting tool. So what is missing in Excel to make this a good or complete reporting solution? And a lot of that, of course, is automation, which I'm going to show you and we're going to talk about. But I split this up in a couple of key areas. So, of course, left top, what we see here is, as I mentioned, we have all these connection setups that can connect directly to Business Central and NAV without any complicated setup or without a need to have extra stuff in between. So that connector is tailor-made for those Business Central solutions, which is pretty neat. That connector also provides some extras. It eliminates a lot of the difficulties, not just technical, but in terms of reporting on Business Central. For example, we allow calculated fields that are made in Business Central, full flow fields. They can be used in reports. any user rights that are set up towards that ERP solution for that user that is reporting are also used in Jet reports. So if anyone, for example, doesn't have access to certain companies within that Business Central instance, he won't have in Jet reports either. So on a lot of cases, you will lose that setup, but Jet reports actually adopts that setup from Business Central. And there's a couple more things that just make it really easy to get going and use it as a reporting tool on Business Central. Because of that direct connection and no middleman in between other than our app source app in the case of Business Central, we are running real-time data, which means there's no limited number of refreshes in a day. Anytime you refresh a report, it pulls the latest data from your Business Central installation and shows that data, which is pretty neat. We also have a drill down, which allows us to go from the report back into Business Central. I am definitely gonna demonstrate that later, just to make clear what it does. It's a really neat solution. It's a really neat extra to have. Because of the connection we have set up and the way the reports are built, it is also very straightforward to do consolidation reporting, to report across multiple companies, even multiple data sources. Maybe you have multiple instances of Business Central, or you have a nav in a Business Central, or even some other database with budgets or something else. You can connect to that and use those two data sources or multiple data sources in the same report, but also very convenient if you have an older database or you have multiple databases or multiple companies and you need to compare chart of accounts, see which which accounts are missing in which organization. That is really easy, something you can actually set up within a minute or two. Then that is the design side, so the automation of those Excel files. On the other side, for a reporting tool, we also looked at what else do we need in Excel, what else are we missing in terms of distribution. So, for example, looking at something like Power BI is also a really neat tooling, and you can share those reports, you can publish them, and you can use them on the web. That is something very similar we did with the Jet Hub. And the Jet Hub allows us to publish those reports, those Excel reports, and allow our colleagues or employees to run these reports in a web-based environment without the need for an Excel add-in to be installed, which also means they can run it on a smartphone or a tablet or something alike. And on the other side, we also have a very extensive scheduler. All of these functionalities, by the way, they are built in every Jet reports license. These are not modular, which means whenever you have Jet reports, you have all of these functionalities at hand. But the scheduler allows us a lot of things. Of course, automated sending of reports is what a scheduler does. But this scheduler also allows generation of CSV files, batch scheduling, which would mean, for example, oh, I want to send this out to every vendor the end of the week, which is something the scheduler could easily do. But also conditional scheduling, where you send something out only conditionally if certain measures in the report, for example, are met, then send it out to certain people. It is a really complete scheduler in that sense. Okay. So then, without further ado, I'm going to jump into the demo. And to demo Jet reports, I would jump into Excel. But first, I'm going to say we also have a lot of out-of-the-box content. And actually, on our website, or even if you Google sample reports for Jet reports, you will get to this site, and we can look at basically all the files we have, all the pre-built reports there are. If you download any one of them, you get a zip file with all of them in there. We're going to look at a couple of them maybe. Of course, there's a lot of financial reports in there because in the basic NAV and Business Central are financial systems, but there's some sales, inventory, purchase. There's all sorts. I think the bulk of it is financial, and I think we're at about 100 sample reports. They are also really nice to illustrate what Jet reports can do and what kind of files you could make, what kind of stuff you could automate with Jet reports. In essence, actually, we say I've been doing Jet reports for a long time, and you can basically automate just about every Excel file, which gives it a great advantage because you could actually use your reports that you already create now or your Excel files that you already have. You could look at those and you could actually start automating those without having to rethink a report or having to build something from scratch. You can actually take a layout that you have and start inserting it with values that pull directly from your Business Central instance, which is in my opinion, as someone who builds a lot of reports for a lot of customers, really, really nice things, because a lot of these reports have been thought about, have been used for a large number of years, and it's usually a struggle to get them built them from scratch. So we can just start automating the Excels. By the way, I see a lot of Dynamics GP here, Great Plains. Most of ours are actually from NAV. There we go. So as you can see, there are some even with pictures in there. So let me have a look. This is the zip file actually with all the files in there. There's 114 in here, as I can see. The ones with Jet reports and Jet basics, we can both use them. So let me have a look. So I have here, for example, the company overview, and we can open up any one of those just from the download from the website. And when we have our Excel add-in connected or installed, let's see, yep. When you have our Excel add-in connected or installed, you can see the Jet Reports ribbon here. Going to that Jet Reports ribbon, I could actually have a look at this, and I could just refresh this report. So what do we see in this ribbon in this case? We can see our data source, and as you can see, I'm connected to a Business Central, but I also have a connection to NAV 2015 in this case. This is actually a tabular model or a cube, and this is just a SQL database that's attached to it. So I can connect multiple data sources if I so want. But connecting to a Business Central, you can see in the dropdowns, I can also just switch company very easily here. But again, I can also make reports that run across multiple companies at the same time. So let me just run this. Out of the box, we'd have to change the dates. These ones are already changed. I don't know why yeah, doesn't matter. They do about half a year now. Let's run this. And the moment I run this, this just refreshes and gives me my up-to-date data from my Business Central instance. So even here, I'll maybe enlarge it a bit. There we go. And here, when we see some of these numbers, we actually see a little arrow appear behind the cells. And this is our drill down functionality. So this is live data. This is from the current period, from this account, 45,200. And if I were to click on it, it'll actually jump into Business Central, open up the right instance, open up the right company, and show me where that amount comes from. So it shows me the detail on that. So as you can see here, this is actually the account I was on, and this is the date range I entered in the pop-up. So this is a really neat functionality. I always say to put more data in your report without putting all that data in your report, but it is a really nice way of analyzing numbers. Again, you can jump, if you have a bit of Excel knowledge, you can jump into that, make multiple columns, make each of them for a different company, for example, compare them. If you even look at these here, most of this is just simple Excel formulas that you could edit. You're just working in Excel anyway, and that is the big advantage, of course. So very straightforward Excel. Let me see. I also have a balance sheet here. There's a bit of a chart on there. And again, to edit this or to change this report, we could jump into design mode, and actually a lot of it, there's a README on all these files and how you make them work properly for your organization. Most of them, especially the financial ones, as it says here, look at the account numbers and make sure they're the correct ones. So you can change these groups. This is just Excel. You can edit it just as you would in Excel, and all these numbers, simple Excel formulas as well. Well, Jet formulas that pull data from Business Central. Okay, just gonna work on that. Okay, let me see if I got one or two more that look interesting. So let me do the executive overview here. So once again, I am in design mode, this report. So I can run this and I can enter today. It's already there. Oh, it's at 13 today. It doesn't really matter. Okay, there we go. And I can run this again. By the way, the pop-up you get there where you can enter the date and in this case, the budget name, this is something that the designer of the report, so the person who built this report, can actually determine what filters can you enter. Are you allowed to change the date on this report, for example, or not? This is all determined by the person designing the report. He's got all the flexibility in the world on that. So maybe he wants to, you can have dimension filters on there or whatever. That's all done by the person designing this report. So once again, out of the box report, you can just run it, have a look at it, and if you feel a bit comfortable with it, you can go into the designer and just edit the Excel functions there to make it work for you. Okay. Now one last more, and then I'm going to show you how we build something like this a bit from scratch. Let me take this one, financial report overview. Okay, it's this one. Yep. Okay, let's run it. Similar pop-up where I can enter the date. I can do months, yep, and 12 months is fine. Just gonna go the 12 months from the date I entered, from the looks of it. There we go. I'm gonna start off in July 2020. And as you can see, even these are just simple Excel formulas. Okay. Nice. And purchase variance. Huh. Okay. So even there, I got a lot, like a really small amount. Like it was 18 euros or $18. And I can see that they're all made up out of tiny amounts. So you can just drill through and it'll open up. Okay. So how do these come to be? As you can see, when running these reports, if these are run, now I'm in a report viewer, I can see these reports. These are just Excel files. I can do whatever I can do with Excel files with this. A lot of these, as I've shown you, are just Excel functions. The numbers that come from Business Central as a viewer, they're just plain numbers, just like as if they would be entered. So I can just add sums here, I can add columns here, I can do calculations here. I can use this as being an Excel file. If we send it out, for example, with the scheduler, we can also send it out as a CSV or as a PDF. So we can do a lot more with that. But in this case, we're just using them as an Excel file. But also when we're designing those reports, we're just using Excel. And jumping into that ribbon now as a designer, you can see I have I have a number of buttons here. I actually have a number just of new Excel functions that allow me to draw data from directly from my data source. But I also have a number of wizards there. So all of these are wizards. And I'll quickly show you one or two. We've seen some financial stuff, but let's say I just want to do some fast financials. I immediately get my chart of accounts live from the source, by the way. And I can just start selecting accounts here. For example, use a combination of Control and Shift. Go and drag and drop those. And this immediately gives me a start of some chart of accounts, some balance, P&L, whatever you want to make here. And let's rename this. This is GL. Of course, we can tailor make this using individual functions. A lot of them are very straightforward. The GL one, for example, a lot of financial people really love it because it's a very simple function. It only needs a couple of parameters to make work. So I can actually make my own account here. Let's combine a couple of accounts that you see here like this. Most of you will probably know this type of parameter. It's just the same filter functionality that you would have in Business Central. What I can do here, I can just say equals GL, GL for general ledger, of course, and then I can pull a balance or a budget, and the next parameter is my account, and this is the result. So this is a function that a lot of financial people actually know by heart because it's such a straightforward function. Actually, the third parameter is start date, and the fourth is end date. So you can do that. Of course, we have function wizards. You don't have to know all of them by heart. This is a very straightforward one. Anyway, we're not, of course, we're not limited to whatever is in the GL. We can also jump into the browser, and as you can see, it was always selected. But I can actually see all my tables and fields here. Everything you have in Business Central, you could use. As you can see here, a number of them are already marked as favorites. A lot of the time, you only need a handful of tables when you're doing all your reports. So you can select them, you can mark them. But you have all your tables and fields available, even if you're using verticals with a lot of tables, even hidden tables. You can see them all and you can report upon them. So let me pull a simple table, the customer table. And as soon as I click it on the right, you can see all the fields from the customer table alphabetically. And here, for example, something like balance. These are flow fields. These are calculated fields that, again, we can calculate, we reuse in Business Central in Jet, just to make it easier to make a report. So let's do number and name. I'm just selecting a couple of fields. I'm going to make a customer list this way. I'm going to start off with those two. I add something else. Oh, let's do that again. Number and name. 2 items. That's better. There we go. And then let's add the balance there. There we go. We got a balance. And again, before I make that customer list complete, I'm just going to do some Excel formatting on there. So all of that is, of course, very straightforward. It saves a lot of time in getting to know the product, getting to know the tooling, because most of it is just plain Excel. So let's run this report for a second. I get the pop-up because of the wizard I ran to change the dates. But still, this just gives me a very simple list. I can add filters to that, of course, and sortings. But I can also start adding Excel formulas. Maybe I want a total here in design. I can just go here, do an auto sum, maybe format this as dollars. Perfect. And then maybe I do a calculation on that, let's say 13% on that balance equals that times 13%. And because of that, it's going to be a customer list. It's going to be pulled down. I'm going to log that 13% up there. Let's run that again. And what you'll find is that everything that was a jet function, everything that pulled data the moment it's run, is just a plain old number in Excel that we can use. And everything that was an Excel function stays a proper Excel function that we can look into and change. Even going completely to the bottom here, that total I added, as you can see, just a plain old Excel sum. Okay. So what we noticed with chat reports is that just people who use a lot of Excel pick this up really, really fast. So most of the knowledge, most of the limits of what you can do with it are limited to the Excel knowledge of the user using it. So that is the general idea on that. I think I'm pretty much true here. Oh, I'm going to show you, I think, one more thing, which is the Jet Hub, so where we can publish these reports. Of course, it's an Excel file, and internally, I could save this to a OneDrive or whatever, so my colleagues can open it and run it, or a SharePoint. But I'm not going to do that. Let's do GL, and let's call this one, go to design. I'll call this one customer list. There we go. I'm going to save this report, save it to the desktop. The desktop. Let's call it 2 sheets. And now what I can do is I can actually upload this report. I could put a description here, maybe put it in a separate folder online, but I'm just going to do it in my main folder. Okay. And then I can open up the Jet Hub. That'll probably prompt me to log in. And I can, of course, this is all single sign-on Windows credentials. These are my Windows credentials. I can enter them here. And once signed in, I can actually see my own reports or the reports that are assigned to me or that are shared with me by colleagues. And this one is the one I just added. It's never been run. So let's give that a whirl. I'm running the report. And here you can see I still get that same pop-up, so I can change the dates. I can change whatever filter a designer allows me to change on here, and then run the report, all from the browser. So again, any device with a browser, maybe even a Chromebook, can run these reports from any place you allow people to do this. Once this report is run, I can open it up, and even when opening it, I get the option of downloading it. Maybe, again, I'm out and about, I want to run this report, I'm running on my phone or on my tablet, but I have an Excel on my tablet, so I could download it and open it in that Excel. Or I can just stay in the browser and open it up in Excel Online. And just gonna open up in Excel Online. So I got the GL accounts here, and on the second page, my customer list. And again, as you can see, these are still Excel functions that you can work with and use. Okay. So that is about it. If you'd like to learn more or just have a general idea on it, I can strongly advise anyone to have a look at the JET sample reports, download that zip file with all of these reports in there. And even if you don't have JET reports installed, you can open them up and just have a look at them, and see the breadth of reports that could be made with JET reports. Once the JET Excel add-in is installed and connected, and you can run all of these out of the box immediately. Plus, with a little bit of training, you could actually make and automate just about every Excel file you can imagine. So that is my part. I'm gonna give it back to MT.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you, Jan. Thank you so much for taking us through all of that. And of course, everyone, well, I see we don't have any questions so far, so we'll just wrap up today's webinar. Like, so if there's anyone within the audience or anyone watching the video afterwards that is looking to streamline your operations or enhance your reporting efforts, please feel free to contact us or visit our website at allonline365.com or Insight Software's website to gain more information on reports. And additionally, you may also just schedule some time with myself where we can just discuss your unique system and reporting requirements, and we can just have a conversation on how we can help you achieve your goals. But with that being said, I'd like to thank you all for attending our webinar, and we just hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Just see. All right. Thank you all.